So, what is a function anyway? This word is used all over the place in programming, and so what we're going to do right now is present the broad concept of what a function is, and then we'll talk about how to write functions in Python. The most important thing for you to know based on this lecture is the difference between defining a function and calling a function. So first we're going to have conceptual overview. Wah wah of functions. Okay, great. So you can think of a function like a set of written instructions. So a function is like a set of written instructions. And this is something which is designed to give the computer a specific set of instructions for doing a specific thing. If it's easier, you might consider thinking of giving instructions to a robot. This is one of my favorite examples. Instructions could be given to a robot. All right, and why do I say this? I say this to underscore the fact that computers only do exactly what we tell them. They do no more and no less. If we want the computer to do something sophisticated, we better have a fairly sophisticated set of functions to help it understand how to do that. So in this case of this robot, which I've just decided we're considering sending a robot to the grocery store to buy some groceries, which truly is something I do not do every day, but which is a perfect example for a function. And I want the robot to go buy, so I'll say example, send robot to buy 5 cans of beans. 5 cans of beans. Okay, so this is our example for the day. We want to send a robot to buy 5 cans of beans. And I'm going to now show you the difference between how we would speak to that robot as if it were a human and how we need to speak to that robot with the understanding that a robot is really a computer. So if it's a human, so you might say to a human, please go buy me 5 cans of my favorite beans. Here's $5. See you later. That might be all that's necessary because the human has some sort of prior knowledge. The human knows, see here I've referenced my favorite beans without even saying what those are. I happen to like black beans, but the human already knows. The human knows that my favorite beans are black beans. The human also knows, ostensibly it's implicit in here, that the human knows where to go. The human knows what a grocery store is, how to get there, how to find the beans, and how to buy them at the checkout. But this doesn't work for a robot. Even if we said go to the grocery store, well, what do you mean go to the grocery store? If you look at a map online and you type in some grocery store, you know how they typically have that pin symbol or the upside down teardrop symbol to show the location? Like, is that where the robot's supposed to go? Like the middle of the store, like the centroid of the building or something? What is it even supposed to do? So we need to give it very specific examples. So please go to grocery store and tell them exactly what one. XYZ, and then maybe we even give it coordinates. I'm only going to do this for 30 seconds. Give coordinates, maybe latitude and longitude, lat long. Okay, so we do something like that. Then, once they get there, I'm just going to spend 1 minute giving the specifics. You know, we would have to tell the robot very specifically exactly what to get. So maybe we give them a reference image. Here is a JPEG of the exact logo of the exact can of beans to be purchased. And we could give them all kinds of other things. I think you get the idea. So check, aisle 5, bin 12. Suppose robots have some system with which they understand where things are in the store. We're going to say, actuate gripper hand, collect can from shelf, place into cart, and we'd have to give them a lot of details. We have to tell them how to get to the checkout, etc., etc. Now here's the part where we're going to come back to the actual Python part, or more the concept part, define versus call. This, I would call this a function definition. I know it's not in Python, it's in English, bear with me. This is a set of instructions, it's a set of written instructions that describes how to do this task. This is a definition. Calling the function would be telling the robot, go do this now. So don't worry if that doesn't make immediate sense. We're gonna actually make this very clear in a moment. But the cliff notes, defining versus calling a function. Okay, so define, write the function, write the instructions, and call, tell the computer to do the instructions. That is, carry them out right now. Okay, so those are the two differences. I'll give you a second to write that down before we, and in the next video, we're going to move along to writing Python code. So go ahead and write those two things down just so you have a sense. This is the major big idea of functions.